There's a reason that they say the West Coast is the best coast, as cheesy as that sounds. Having now done the East Coast and seen the majority of it, I can tell you that there's pretty much no comparison. The beaches in the West Coast are almost unbelievable in how beautiful they are, and like the water over there is like a crystal blue glass. Each stop was so uniquely memorable that I couldn't pick a favourite. We've been in Shark Bay for the past couple of days, and despite the impressively strong winds which made it very difficult to set up camp, it's been a wonderful stay. Shark Bay is small, but it's gorgeous in its own right, with the ocean and the palm trees hugging the edge of the town. Yesterday our friend Daniel took us on an awesome trip with his 4x4 into the Francois Peron National Park. It was a really relaxing day of sunbathing on beautiful beaches and driving across the soft sand of Bottle Bay. We're finishing our short stay here with a day trip to Monkey Mire, another beautiful coastal location. Monkey Mire is famous for dolphins swimming up into the bay, so hopefully we'll get to feed some this morning. Our next stop is Coral Bay in Exmouth, home of the world-renowned Ningaloo Reef, where we'll be adventuring out into the ocean for reef snorkeling and whale watching. It's been less than a week so far, but the West Australian coast is turning out to be an absolute gem. As promised, I am now speaking to you from Coral Bay, a marine paradise in Western Australia. It's a very small town, essentially comprised of beachside resorts. I'm currently here during the Australian school holidays, and families have flocked here to stay here for a week and 2 weeks, and who can blame them? The beach, with its white sand and shallow waters, is only a 5-minute walk from the town, which boasts plenty of opportunities for snorkeling, kayaking and other adventurous activities. Naturally, Coral Bay gets its name from the Ningaloo Reef's coral gardens being only a short swim from the shore. Within these waters you'll find a plethora of tropical fish, stingrays, manta rays, and there's even a shark nursery to visit as well. I'm just here chilling, strolling on the beach and enjoying the sunset before we head to Exmouth tomorrow for more exploration of national parks and for our snorkeling tour of the Ningaloo Reef. I'll see you guys there. Probably the most uniquely memorable moment, or the moment that stands out the most for me from the West Coast, was driving to the summit of Cape Range National Park for the sunrise. That was a really special day. It's a pain sometimes doing landscape photography when you have to wake up so early in the morning. You know, sometimes you're waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. to go and hike a mountain before the sun rises, so that you can get that perfect photo, and then, you know, it doesn't even look great. There's clouds, or it starts to rain or something, and it ruins the whole thing. Sometimes it's really frustrating,
However, sometimes it just works out perfectly, and that's what happened on that day. Woke up in the pitch black. We were parked right by the beach, and the first thing you hear is the ocean. It's cold, but you know that you've got this real excitement coming your way. And then we had to drive for like about an hour and a half just in the pitch black. And in that part of Australia, there's a lot of kangaroos, so you have to drive slowly because you could hit one, and if you hit one, then you're not going anywhere else. Yeah, I just remember just driving along this straight road, heading towards the top of this mountain. It was getting lighter and lighter as the morning went on, and I was just so keen to see what we were going to see, like what it was going to look like when we got there. And when we did get there, the sun had just started to rise. It was a clear day, there were no clouds. The sun just hit the mountain and it just turned all of the mountains like a bright orange. And it was just perfect. The whole thing was perfect. You got exactly what you wanted in the end. You got this amazing experience.
Okay, so my camera's now set up taking a time-lapse of the Charles Knife Canyon sunrise. So while we're waiting to see how that turns out, let me fill you in on the last couple of days. Upon arriving in Exmouth, one of the top things on our list to do was always going to be some kind of hike in the Cape Range National Park. We found a location close to our campsite called Yardie Creek, and the walk took us high above the creek into the limestone mountains with incredible views of the river below. Let's take a minute to appreciate that experience. Quite a wondrous place, isn't it? Yesterday morning was spent slightly differently as we joined the team at Exmouth Dive for a snorkeling tour of Ningaloo Reef. I'd never seen such colourful fish in my life that wasn't in a fish tank. And although the coral had lost some of its colour, it was still a very memorable experience. The day then ended by chilling and relaxing on Turquoise Bay and soaking up some of the late afternoon sun. Speaking of the sun, it looks like this one's almost fully risen. Let's go and check out that time lapse. What a wonderful way to start our day. It's going to be a long one too, over an 8-hour drive to our next stop, which is Karijini National Park. This is going to deserve its own episode for sure. I know I'm going to see you there for that one. That is something you really don't want to miss.
I remember standing on that mountain edge and soaking in the light of a new day and watching the sun cascade from this deep orange to a brilliant white and thinking to myself how lucky I was and how appreciative I was of this chapter in my life. I knew that I'd seen enough beauty to make the entire journey worth it, and the best was still yet to come.